that was a pretty gallant win today, particularly given that you had a few injury concerns in the first half.
Yeah, I think it was certainly challenging. We had momentum in the game, and then Luke come off with a bit of a nick or whatever, and it was a while to be assessed, but come back and, to his credit, come on and was quite admirable, which you expect your leaders to be. Luke delivered on that, and then Zach just out of nowhere as well, and sort of because they were so tall as well, that was always we come in undersized anyway, which we knew, but we were happy with that. And the worst possible result, to lose a tall defender. So, to the players' credit, a couple were thrown a challenge. Zach Clark was thrown a challenge, and then Main, and then once they subbed out, I think it was Lysette, they become a bit smaller, and that enabled us to put Zach Clark back. So, yeah, it was a gallant victory. We worked hard to bank the 4 points, so it was good.
What was the diagnosis on Luke and Zach?
Luke seems really minor, to be honest. But while their bodies are hot and the blood's flowing through, that it's hard to assess. So in the cold light of day, we'll know and we'll get some scans. And it's a bit uncertain with Zach. He's rolled his ankle on a foot, and it's hard to ascertain. Zach's pretty courageous, and in my time working with Zach, he's always been able to play through. So obviously there's a red flag there. But again, I wouldn't want to preempt the medical, but certainly as information comes to hand, as always, we tend to update.
And Clancy Fisk getting his shoulder worked on, it looked like 1 point. Is he all good?
Yeah, Clancy. Yeah, there's going to be those bits and pieces. Like if you went in there now, there'd be 20 ice bags out and everything else. So there's a bit of that. There's a price to pay in every AFL game. You've got to pay that price of physical wear and tear, and so you walk in, there's always a little bit.
What was the issue with Luke?
Oh, I couldn't tell. It's a bit of a leg, some hamstring, quad, upper of the knee. Yeah, look, I haven't got the time game day. I just say, can he play? And they go, yes. I go, beauty, get him on. I don't go into the... I don't do a... what is it?
Medical assessment.
Yeah, well, it's more than that. Someone tips over and assess them.
You talked a bit this year about wanting to start well, Ross. How pleased were you with the start today?
Yeah, we did start really well, and we started well last week as well. And probably more importantly, when we were challenged in the second, we responded. But I thought last week we had a good foundation. That foundation that we thought was there again today, and we made some significant improvement in our ball use. We probably overdid it at times, but we certainly forced the opposition to play on us and just didn't kick it to their spares dropping back on Pav. So I thought anyone that watched the game, that would have stood out, and we made them find us, chase us and defend us. And at times we overdid it, but it was an improvement on just kicking it to opposition people sitting back on Pav.
How important was Hayden's influence in terms of your structure and your forward line?
Crozier or
Hayden Valentine?
Yeah, he's significant. We know he's a good player. He's a proven bona fide AFL player, and yeah, he was lively.
Ross, the third week in a row you've had more inside 50s than your opposition, but less scoring shots. Is it an issue? Is it becoming a concern?
Yeah, I don't know. I thought we had plenty of opportunities. I think they got a couple late, and a few of theirs was pressured. No, I wouldn't worry about it too much.
Like, it's pretty rare for a young fellow like yourself, really best on ground medals. How did you feel about your game?
For me, I've been working really hard with our midfield coaches, Brett Kirk and Mark Stone, so I've got a lot to work on and still a lot to go. So for me, it's just about putting in consistent effort and performances, and today I was lucky to sort of get on the end of a couple of touches. So.
You always seem to get pretty good contested possession numbers. You like working in the scrap?
It's something I've been working on really hard the last couple of years. Something I needed to improve on from when I first got to the club. So I've still got a lot to work on, and that's one of them. So.
And which of the other players out there do you really try and learn off?
We've got some great midfielders: Nathan Fyfe, David Mundy, Mick Barlow. So those guys have been really good for me, especially this year, playing a bit more midfield time. They've been really leading well and helping me inside.
And you, obviously, from South Australia, so Western Derby would be a bit of a new thing for you. Is there any difference from the other games? hiding intensity or anything?
Not really. I suppose it's one focus of ours to go in each week and give great effort, and I think this week we did that. So nothing really changes.
Ross, what do you make of Lockie's progression since coming to the club?
Yeah, it's significant. I think that batch, should I talk about people's batches? Cam Sutcliffe, Lockie Neal and Hayden Crozier and Tommy Sheridan, they played significant roles. Two of the four in our grand final team last year, and one was first emergency. So they've been displayed great work ethic and character since they've been through, and they contributed in my first year with the club. I remember in the wet at MCG Richmond, and there's been some really good progression. There's been a couple of ups and downs. They're only young men maturing on and off the field, but overall they're full of character and work ethic, and they're helping drive this group, and give real momentum, to our senior players. So yeah, they've got plenty of improvement in them. They've got a long way to go, but they're starting to make some significant contributions, which is important.
And Lockie and Cam were quite late draft picks. Was it a bit of a win for effort over raw talent?
Yeah, I don't know. Once they come for the door, I put their draft number in the bin. And your draft pick, there's plenty of failed first-round draft picks. So this business is about perseverance and character and work ethic and desire to get better. And those that can display a passion for that longer than 3 weeks, 3 months, and 6 months or 12 months are the ones that tend to make it. Those that find it too hard go out the door. Doesn't make them bad people. So it's a pretty harsh filter, AFL footy, and these guys have adapted to the work and work pretty hard. So yeah, I think that's a question you could ask Brad Lloyd and his crew. I don't treat anyone. Rookie lives first round draft pick, they will get the same treatment at the Dockers.
What about now as a being medalist best on the ground with the names that he's talked about? Is he a bit of a surprise best on ground to you tonight?
Oh, not particularly. I've seen Lockie, Port Power. It's funny, we play Port Power next week, so I think it was around 9 out of 20 last year. He was clearly significant. So, but it's a progression they need to make. It's that belief and work ethic and taking the opportunities. So, and then Lockie's next step, he'll get tagged, and someone will play tighter attention than he got today. So, we'll start throwing out the bouquets when he's learned to work through a tag, I reckon.
Ross, you challenge Matt de Boer leading into this game. How did you see his performance?
Yeah, look, I've got to go and away assess it. I thought he was up and about early, significant. Yeah, it was solid, I thought. Yeah, he certainly carried his position, I would have thought.
Does this feel like a bit of a turning point today at all?
Oh, we're far from playing our best footy. We've got a bit to add, lose a couple. Yeah, we're 4-3, could easily be a bit better. The best team in the competition towed us up. So everyone talks about top 4 and that, but I thought you're doing those positions. It's been bestowed upon us when we haven't heard anything. So I don't fall for that. We're just a team trying to work our way up to the starting grid for the real season. So the only way you do that is focus on what's in front of you. So yeah, we're not at our very best, but we've played some pretty good teams that throw you some challenges, and we're starting to work through some of those challenges. So we've got plenty of hard work. We'll breathe out tonight. We'll come in tomorrow, and coaches and that get together, and it'll be foot to the throat still and try and improve. That's what we're about.
Do you feel like the effort is trending in the right direction? Even last week you guys didn't...
Yeah, I think that's fair to say, yeah. No doubt about it.
Has there been any reason behind that? You guys have a heart-to-heart talk a couple
No, I can't coach effort. I don't coach effort. So the players bring it, and we're trying to harness it with some general principles. So, yeah, it's probably something the players could better answer than me. But overall, it's been solid. A little bit up and down, but pretty solid. We're not a machine. We've got a lot of emotions and feelings and challenges and physical challenges, and sometimes you're not at your very best. I think it's unrealistic over a 22-week season to think we're going to be perfect, or anyone is. So, but you try and, the weight of numbers, you get it right. So clearly we've got it wrong a few times.
What do you think of Aaron Sandman's game?
I thought it was really strong. We stood up with some really good contested marks around the ground. But he's saying I think we're kicking it a little bit better to Aaron. We've done some work on that, how to kick it to Aaron to give him best chance, and kick it to Matthew different, kick it to Maney different, and kick it to Aaron in a different manner. And I thought today we took a step forward in that, and we'll show those clips, and he can be a real force around the ground if we kick it to him correctly. Sometimes it's not the player, it's the delivery.
You mentioned Maine. Is him playing back something which could continue as the season goes on, or is it just plugging?
Yeah, we like the flexibility of it, and that's an important thing about Crozier, and Daniel Pearce and De Boer doing their bit, that he can go back, and Clark. So, yeah, we liked it.
Was that brought about, though, more through losing Zach and Luke a bit?
Fact, yeah, through the injury.
You didn't throw him back because he was having an offish day again.
Yeah, just structural needs.
Port Adelaide and Geelong over the next 2 weeks and talk about challenging those two teams. What that would mean. In the
Well, it's self-evident. They're pretty good teams. Every week's important, so we'll enjoy it tonight, and then during the week we'll talk about Geelong and Port, or Port and Geelong. That's where I'm at. I'm not even sure we're playing first. So, yeah, we just go home. We'll do our review before we move on. There's plenty of time to worry about. We know the season's full of significant challenges, none more important than any other, but the aim is to win more often than you lose, and we're doing that slightly.
Do you expect Stephen Hill to come up next week?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'll do medical Monday, Tuesday and let you know. But hopefully, I'd love him to play. Thank you.